And away we go. It is the BCJ Podcast, brought to you by the Holy Grail, right here on BearcatJournal.com. And damn it, people, it's back. Saturday, 2 o'clock, official Bearcat Journal watch party at the Holy Grail. We'll have giveaways from Cincy Light, and we'll watch the Bearcats take on the Horned Frogs from Texas Christian University, with the opportunity to keep their NCAA tournament aspirations alive. 1 month ago, that was an absolutely insane statement, but it is true. So come out, enjoy the game, hang out, have some lunch, and watch the Bearcats take on TCU in the final regular season game of the 2025-26 season. Also, 50 cents from every Cincy Light purchased at the Holy Grail is donated back to the University of Cincinnati. So support those that support the Bearcats, and come join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Saturday, 2 o'clock at the Holy Grail. All right, David, let's get this show on the road. I think I have entered a kind of slap happy phase right now. I got very little sleep last night. It was one of those, we've talked about it for 2 months now. Like, the games were just a drag, right? Like, sitting in Fifth Third Arena, the action happens, watching it, analyzing it, but there was no, like, feeling to any of it. And it is slowly, as this has gone on, started to creep back in little by little. But I think last night was, like, the actual, like, okay, this is real. Like, they were so on the ledge, about to fall off at any point in time over these last 7 games. They could lose. Essentially, you could lose one to one of the really good teams. You could not lose anything else. You had to get to 7-1 or 6 and whatever to get to this point. And last night was awesome at Fifth Third Arena. It felt the energy in the place was very high. The atmosphere was awesome. The play on the court matched the intensity in the building. There was never that, like, deflating, like, 12-2 5-minute scoring drought moment that zapped the energy out of the building. And then I came home, started the aftermath at 1 o'clock, got done at 2, took care of the dogs, did some back end stuff. I think my head hit the pillow at 3, Dave. I was still awake at like 10-4. Like, my brain was just like, no, I'm good. I'm not tired in any way, shape, or form. Then the alarm went off at 6:30. And then, the phone has been ringing all day. People want to talk. Things are going well. All of a sudden, my phone starts buzzing again. People talking about what's going on. I'm exhausted, but my energy feels good right now. We'll see how it is as we get through this show. How the heck are you?
I'm good. I echo a lot of what you said, and we talked about it a little bit earlier today of, you kind of feel like you're sliding or cheating some of the wins, 2-3 weeks ago, but that was mainly because it was framed in a bigger picture type of situation of, it's great you beat Kansas, and we can talk about that, but for the big picture of things, for the season of things, for the future of things, how much does it really mean? Well, because that one thing was really good, but we still needed a lot more really good things to happen for that to almost really mean anything.
From a team that hasn't shown any consistency.
Exactly. Like, yeah, you're happy and you're excited, but you're also going, okay, we've banked 25, 23 data points And nowhere in those data points had there been, multiple road wins or in a row or 3-game, 4-game win streaks. So, now we're kind of at that point where, I'm not going to say Saturday is the big, I'm not going to put any hyperbole on Saturday. But, we'll get into it deeper. They are playing very, very well. I threw out some numbers. We are essentially a month from the West Virginia game. The West Virginia game was February 5th.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is February 5th.
Days from the low point of the season, from what we will essentially call rock bottom.
Since then, they have scored at least 84 in 5 of the 7 games. They have made double-digit three-pointers in 5 of the 7 games and are shooting 43.3% from 3 in the 7 games, not just the games they've really shot it well. I mean, I'm counting the Utah game and the loss at Tech. So that is not just like a couple games or even a couple weeks. That is a significant sample size. That is essentially a quarter of the season. I mean, you're 7 games and just slightly shy of a quarter of the season.
Yeah.
The flip side of that is that for as good as the offense has been and as good as it has and as much improvement as it has made, it is still 120th in the country, which kind of points you to the non-con and the beginning of the Big 12 season. And, you still are out of the top 100 teams in the country. There are only 7 of them that have a worse offensive rating on KenPom than you. So,
well, but it
just shows you how big of a hole they dug.
Yeah.
That you can play this well offensively for a month of the season, and it's still not even close to being one of the offenses that you would point to as like a surefire NCAA tournament team. So, you and I have talked a bunch about it. I know we've talked a bunch about it on the board. Or the board's been talking about it. We've talked about it privately. We've talked about it on podcasts. I mean, I feel that it's not, maybe it was pretty cut and dry last week. I'm not sure it's as cut and dry now about how far they need to go. I still think there's no shot if it gets to 15 losses. Like, they have to win Saturday to even have a chance.
Agree.
I think you and I differ a little bit on what they need to do in the conference tournament. I feel like get to the semis and you are absolutely in.
No, I agree with that. I just think because there's so much unknown, there's a path where they win Saturday, they make it to the quarterfinals, and they would have done enough. Now, am I comfortable in that? Like, would I go into Selection Sunday like Cincinnati's in? No.
I would still probably feel like it is a less than 50% chance.
I think they would be right at the cut line.
I think I said earlier, like second, third, fourth team out type situation. Yeah, right there. But
right at the cut line.
The Eastern Michigan thing is gonna hang no matter how many good wins they get. I mean, you lost at home to the worst team in the MAC.
Yeah, I will be interested to see if there is any credence given to that was a game without 3 starters.
Right. And we talked about that too, is that if you get penalized, I mean, UC got penalized when Kenyon got hurt. Teams get penalized.
They got penalized when Armin Kirkland got hurt.
When
Armin fucking Kirkland.
When players get hurt that cannot finish the season, the word to quote is, well, now we know who you are and you're not who you were, and this is who you are moving forward. So you're not the team that was doing this well before. The inverse has to also be true, though, of when you have guys hurt early in the year, or you have a Jizzle James situation, that is not who you are. You are more like who you are now than who you were then. So can you be penalized for that as well? on the front end of things. I feel like that would be a little unjust. Now we'll never know, if how much that type of a conversation comes into play. But they're not. I don't think it really matters who they play in the quarters. That's not gonna really matter. It's gonna be either another bubble team, potentially like a West Virginia, or a team that's not really in position to be in the field. So that's not gonna help. And we'll see who it might be if they win that game and play a top 4 double bye team. But just the fact that we are talking about potentially getting a bye in the conference tournament, when a month and a half ago we were placing bets on, like, would this team win 2 conference games, 3 conference games? Could they get hot and win 4 conference games? So, that is, it's a far cry.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine, Dave, if I'd have said with a straight face in the middle of January, David, they're going to play TCU the last game of the season to get to 10 conference wins.
Yeah, like right after they got blown out by Arizona State.
Right?
On the aftermath, you're like, yeah, I think they're going to get to 10 wins.
You guys would have literally been like, Chad's lost his mind. He's lost his mind. And now, we're taking donations in the chat to send Keegan to TCU this weekend. I have decided that we're going to send him to Fort Worth this weekend. And if they win Saturday, I'm sending him to Kansas City. So if you want to donate, there's a little $ thing in the chat on YouTube, and you can donate and you can help send Keegan to cover the team. Because I'm going to be honest, Dave, you know what I didn't do for the month of March? I did not budget sending Keegan to Fort Worth or to Kansas City.
Yeah, because in the month of January, we were staring at 13 seed, noon game on Tuesday, lose,
coming right back home. That's lighting money on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Lighting money on fire. Yeah. Now, in Bart Torvik, since the final horn sounded against West Virginia on Bart Torvik, the top 5 teams in America, Duke, Arizona, Michigan, Florida, Cincinnati. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong.
Those teams don't have
a loss to Eastern Michigan
and a loss to the worst team in the Big East.
Yeah.
Oh, did I say that out loud?
Well, I think Georgetown's probably the worst team in the Big East. Keegan might sneak off to Vegas to get a haircut. Last night, there were people donating. This is money for Keegan's laundry.
This
is money for his Chipotle, for extra meat on his Chipotle bowl.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's nuts. I mean, my thoughts of what I think should maybe whatever happen. We don't need to get into that stuff yet.
Tonight's not the night for that.
No, and it doesn't matter. Like right now, it doesn't matter. Cincy Toughness asked this question. I don't know if he follows us, if he's a Twitter person, but this kind of goes to something I put up on Twitter today. Does the committee look at how hot this team has been at late and the margin of victory we have against these teams? Technically, no. Technically, the last 10, or I think it was at one point in time, it was the last 12 or the last 10, and then it became the last 12, was a metric that they kind of used. That is supposedly
gone.
Not the case anymore. The sheets are supposed to be the sheets.
Yeah.
But as I said on Twitter, the selection committee is human.
Yeah.
And outside of the top teams in the country, I'm sure there are others. But if you did some sort of college basketball Cincinnati Bearcat Twitter search, the impressions that UC is getting right now would probably be at or near the top of anybody in the country. And they are not just beating teams. They are destroying teams.
Well, and the thing is, the Kansas game turned the volume up, right?
That was the bright light that said, okay,
Yeah.
let's check this shit out. And then it kept going.
Yeah.
Like the loss at Tech didn't even like dampen it. It just kept it on them, and then they bounced back from that and destroyed Oklahoma State. It was destroyed BYU. Like
I did want to point out something, Dave.
Yes.
That Oklahoma State win might be more important than anybody realizes.
Why is that?
Because their AD is on the selection committee.
Oh, I did not know.
There is going to be somebody in that room that says, I can speak from my own eyes watching that game. Cincinnati kicked our ass from bell to whistle. That whatever it was, whatever this team is doing, they did it to us unlike just about anybody else.
Right. And here's the thing.
That you need an ally in that room. They
Always.
might have gotten one in the form of how bad they pushed around Oklahoma State last weekend.
And you can't pretend that the non-con didn't happen because you can't point to this last month without also going, yeah, well, that also happened too.
Sure.
So, but at the same time, like, the bubble's not great. If they win Saturday, whoever they play, say they keep doing this, and now your quarterfinals of the Big 12, and you hang another 85 on somebody and win by double digits, while all these other teams are losing or squeaking by, losing on Saturday, losing in their conference tournament. Like, we know the conference tournament does not hold the same cachet that it once did. It certainly doesn't hold it from a seeding standpoint. Like, you very rarely see teams truly improve their seed line because they go deep or win their conference tournament. But now, if it's a counting measurement and we're comparing resumes and we're comparing quad one wins and we're comparing net and wins above double and NPOM, then you do have the potential to continue to make some move. Like, I think they're still pretty far off, but they have another opportunity. This is the shit that we talk about the Big 12 that is so frustrating about what this program has been, especially the last 2 years, is you've gotten into a conference that gives you opportunity. That was always the knock on the AAC, is that you felt like UC had to be damn near perfect all the time because they were never afforded a slip up. You just weren't afforded a loss to a subpar team because you didn't have the chance to get that back. And the frustration in the last 2 years has been, we know you're going to lose, but you also have never beaten any of the teams above you. Well, now they have. Now they have an Iowa State, even though it's a sliding BYU, a Kansas. They have another potential road game against. I mean, TCU after last night. I don't know. I wouldn't believe anybody that doesn't say they're a lock to make the tournament.
I think they're in. Like, if they lose to Cincinnati, that's not.
They beat Florida, Iowa State, and now Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Like, what bubble team would have 3 better wins than that?
And don't they have close losses at home to, like, Michigan?
I don't know about they have a very weird resume just in general. They have a home loss to Notre Dame. Like they've got 4 pretty stinky losses, but also 4 really good wins. And I think that was maybe even before the Tech game. Don't hold me to that. But like, yeah, they're not getting penalized for beating one of the hottest teams in the country right now. They're not getting penalized if they lose this game on Saturday. They're in.
They lost at home to Michigan, 67-63. They lost home Arizona, 86-73. Home Houston, 79-70. And I think they've only got one other. They lost. Ooh, that's a bad one. They lost at home to Notre Dame.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like the New Orleans one, first game of the season. Whatever. Like you can write that one off. Notre Dame.
They got a Utah loss too.
Dog dude. They lost the back end of the Utah road swing to Utah. Yeah. But yeah, you're not getting penalized for most of the losses.
And so kind of back to what Cincy touched on. I don't think like the margin per se is matters, but it's just the continuous stream of conscious that they are in these selection committee members' heads now. Yeah. As this crappy ACC or Big Ten or SEC team loses again, like Auburn's on the bubble and they're 16-14. Like when they lose again this weekend, or when they lose early in Nashville or in the SEC tournament, and if UC keeps winning, like, does that play a factor into it? I mean, yes, you have the sheet, and we know that the sheet is important, and it breaks everything down very cleanly for them. But how much of it is just like, man, this team is truly playing at a tournament level? And yes, we know that they are very empty in the non-con. But these other teams might be empty in their conference season. I don't know their individual conference records and who they played and who they didn't play and who their wins are against and not. I mean, they might be empty in that, or they might have had a just fine non-con, but now their conference schedule is pretty empty. They're beating up on similar bubble teams or worse, and that's all their conference wins. So, Joe just asked, UC has to win how many more games to get in? Definitively speaking, they have to win 3. If they win 3 more games, I think they're in.
Because that third one would be
another neutral quad 1 against a team ranked in the top 15.
So if they win Saturday, they're either the 6th or the 7th seed, depending on what happens with UCF West Virginia. If West Virginia wins, they would be the 6th seed. If UCF wins, they would be the 7th seed. The 2 teams that you're going to meet if you're in the quarterfinals are Houston or Texas Tech. Or the semifinal. No, quarters.
No,
to get to the semis.
Yeah, they have to get to the semi. Yeah, they have to win 2 games and they have to win Saturday and win 2 games in Kansas City.
So the first game would be Wednesday. The quarterfinals would be Thursday.
Yeah, semis Friday, finals Saturday.
You would face either, in this scenario, either Texas Tech or Houston. I think if you get to that point, you are right there on the cut line. Like, you are going to be sweating your ass off on Sunday because you will have no feel for whether you're in or you're out.
Well, because it'll be so much will be determined on, like, does Miami win their conference tournament?
Right. Like, there's bubbles, there's bid stealers.
Does VCU or St. Louis not win the A10?
There's also, Dave, we just don't know what the important metrics are this year.
No, I don't even want to get started on that.
I know.
Like I think of all the things that revolt, like, that would drive me the craziest as a coach is I have to build a schedule without knowing what the committee is going to hold very important versus not very important. And it changes year to year, and no one ever tells us. Like, and it could be different per committee member.
Right.
Road neutral record might be the most important thing to one team, one committee member, and non-conference strength of schedule might be the most important thing to another committee member. And like how is that in the benefit of anybody in the sport?
Right. So yeah, that's like, but if you get a win over Tech or Houston in the quarterfinals,
I mean, you'll have 5 quad 1 wins. They have 3. No, they have 6 because I think you have 4 right now, right?
Yeah, I think it's 4.
Is that right, or is it 3? I think it's 4.
I think it's 4.
Kansas, Iowa State,
BYU.
Is there another one?
UCF, I think. Or no,
UCF
that would have been.
That wouldn't be a quad 1.
That wouldn't have. I think there's a road one that's quad 1. No, there's not, because
I don't know.
Kansas State, whatever.
Anyhow. But yeah, I mean, you're now, you've beat. Yeah, I think for 100% that. But I think, like you said, if you go 1-1 in KC, you're just at the mercy of so much. The committee, all the other games, like so much.
It would do everybody's blood pressure a lot better if they were somehow playing Friday night in Kansas City for a shot at a berth in the Big 12 finals.
If that was the case, I would bench everybody and play all the backups and save them for the tournament.
No. Go win the Big 12, damn it. Go do it.
Okay.
Honestly, Dave, somebody asked this earlier today. Can you remember a UC team doing this? Like, they were dead.
No, because I mean, for the past how many years? They've either been good, really good, or just kind of blah, and just gone through a year being whatever. I mean, they've never had they have not had a truly bad season in I don't know how long. Like bad.
Yeah. I mean, obviously 2012 comes to mind with the Presbyterian loss, the Marshall loss, the fight, and loss to Xavier. But, I mean, that team wasn't in great shape entering February because they didn't have a lot in their non-conference at that point. But then, I mean, they finished 12-6 in the Big East.
Yeah.
Like, what year was it? 03? Yeah, 03 was dicey, right?
I'm bad at remembering.
That team finished 17-12. That was the Bobbitt, Stokes, Kirkland, Maxiel, Field Williams. But, I mean, that team actually...
You still didn't have, like, such a wild... Like, we were never talking about these teams of, like, are they going to win a couple conference games?
I would say, though, at February 18th, that season, they were 14-8, 6-5, and they didn't have much of a resume at that point. Like, they didn't play a single big-time game in the non-con that they won. They lost to Dayton, lost to Xavier, lost to Clemson. And then they had, going into that February 18th game, they had lost 5 of 6 in Conference USA at that point.
Conference USA was tough.
And then they bounced back by winning 2 of the next 3. They beat Louisville. They beat East Carolina. Louisville's number 10 in KenPom that year. I don't think KenPom was a thing at that point in time. But that's probably the win that got them in, beating Louisville at home. But then they lost to Marquette to end the regular season and lost to Southern Miss in the first round of the conference tournament. So that team didn't even finish. Like, it wasn't like they finished strong.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't think of anything in the Huggins to now window where they were 11-12. They were so bad. I mean, it was literally a foregone conclusion. They were 11-12, 3-7 in the conference. Dead. And now they're 6-1 in their last 7 and actually playing as well as anyone in the country. Just to keep the conversation moving, what do you think? What are your 2 or 3 things that you feel like are the biggest reasons that this is happening, I guess?
I mean, the very obvious one is just Bubba and Chum are just playing great.
Yeah, for me, that's number one.
I mean, they're just playing great, and they're playing consistently great, and they have not really dipped throughout this whole thing.
Right.
I mean, they're just playing awesome. I would say maybe an underrated thing is, and I don't know if how accurate this is. You are way more. It feels like their turnovers are way down.
Down lately.
From the beginning / middle of the season.
Yeah.
Like not even threatening double digits. I think last night it was like 6 or 7.
It ended up at 8.
8. But I mean, the game.
That's an incredible number.
Yeah. It feels like
the Texas Tech game. It was 3.
Yeah.
Turned over 3 times in a loss.
Feels like the turnovers are way down, which probably then has something to do with the offense feeling like, and when you're making shots and you have 2 guys playing the way they are, theoretically you should have less turnovers, and then the offense should flow much better.
Absolutely.
I think there's an element of it that kind of goes hand in hand. It's like you and I talked about it earlier today, like playing less people, but also role definition, I think, got better. And within the role definition, there was minutes reduction. And it's kind of a trope, but it does kind of drive me crazy. And I've even noted it. It's like, why does it keep taking 2.5 months for Wes to realize he doesn't have to play the entire roster? But also, you can play guys, but some guys should probably be playing 7 minutes a game and not 15. It felt like for a lot of the season, it wasn't even just that too many guys were playing. It was that minutes were being distributed too freely. It's like, I'm sitting here going, these guys are in the best shape of their life and they can't play 30 minutes a game. Everybody's got to get in.
Yeah. I mean, I think there are some things to it, Dave, especially this year. We don't know what it looked like to start the season if Celestine was healthy.
Right.
Would Abayev was playing that many minutes because it was him or Sincere Harris at the 3. Because Celestine at that point in time, looked like he could barely walk in the pregame shoot-around. Had a giant, massage heating element on his back. You couldn't put him out there. He was on a minute restriction. You couldn't play him much. Jizzle wasn't here. So you had to play Kerr Kriisa. Tyler McKinley was dealing with his knee, so we got probably more Halvin Zella than we really wanted to at that point in time. You have more Celestine at the 4. When as this has played out, it's become obvious that much more natural to this particular team at the 3. And then when you start getting guys back, I think it's difficult, Dave, to be like, all right, this guy has been playing 27 minutes for us, but now Jizzle comes back and we're just he's out of the rotation. We have removed him from relevance on our roster. Like it's like last year when Dan Skillings comes back, they open Big 12 play. He has 3 games of 18 points to open Big 12 play, 3 in a row, 18, 18, 18. And then he struggles for a couple games, and everybody's like, well, why didn't Wes yank him out of the lineup and cut his minutes? Well, because 3 games ago, he scored 18 points 3 games in a row. Like that, you don't have that. Hindsight is 2020. Every coach is going to go, I know this guy's got it in him. I just watched him score 18 points 3 games in a row in Big 12 games. So I completely, it's not that I disagree that part of the reason that this team is being successful right now is because your 5 starters are playing 30 plus minutes, and you essentially have 3 guys off the bench that are playing, 7, 8, 10 minutes a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just didn't have you really honestly didn't have the capability of doing that earlier in the year. I don't think it was a choice thing. You just didn't, the way the roster was constructed, the guys that were out, the individual circumstances, like you just kind of couldn't do that. I also think, just from an offensive standpoint, I mean, you would have to go back and really watch those early games and compare them to now. But it certainly is evident that just the way that they're moving the ball, the Louisville game, to me, the second half of the Louisville game really stood out that the ball just stayed. Bubba got hurt, but the ball just stayed on one side of the floor. And now it does not. And how much of that is that you're making a bunch of shots? But guess what? You're probably making a bunch of shots because you're taking open shots. And even the shots that we don't like, even the Jizzle and Day-Day shots that we don't like, they are step-in open shots.
I like those shots.
They're not back a guy down or off the dribble because there's 3 seconds left on the shot clock.
You're going sideways because you just did a crossover dribble, like trying to create space, crossover, step back, sideways, 18-footers.
Yeah.
Shoot me in the face. They're not doing those anymore.
So, I mean, they're playing at a very high level. It would be incredibly Cincinnati of them to then just go to TCU and
lose by 12.
Yeah. Shoot 7 for 27 from 3. 9 for 17 from the line.
I agree, Dave, but we've been saying that for a month.
Yeah, but now it really matters.
I know, but it is in the grand scheme of things, it has actually mattered outside of Texas Tech. It has mattered every game for a month.
Playoff-like atmosphere for the last month.
Yeah. And to go back to the original point, like sometimes, guys, I promise it is as simple as to perform like one of the better teams in this league, you better have 2 of the better players in this league that you can rely on night in and night out. And Wes's first 2 years, they didn't have that enough. They had stretches where certain guys played at a really high level, but there was never any consistency to it. They had, moments in time where it's like, I think they're starting to figure it out. And then one guy goes cold, a guy turns his ankle, whatever the case may be. And it goes back to playing like the 10th, 11th best team in the league. The reason that they are playing like they are and have been able to keep their foot on the gas is because when, like yesterday's a great example, Dave, to start the second half. And they come out and they cut it to 8. And it's like, well, here we go, right? Made 3 by Day-Day. Day-Day goes just bull in a china shop to the rim, gets fouled, makes both free throws. It's, And then Baba gets fouled, go to the free throw. That's another thing that's been big that we haven't talked enough about, Dave. Baba and Cham all of a sudden becoming much more reliable free throw shooters.
Well, it feels like they're getting like I actually wanted to track it the other day because I guess it would have been the Oklahoma State game. They got to the line 13 times in the first half.
Yeah.
Now the game got out of hand and the numbers didn't continuously grow, but 13 times in the first half, that was like more than they were getting to the line for games.
Right.
I mean,
I didn't realize this.
We had a whole bit that I brought up, Day and Jizzle's lack of free throw attempts for like 10 straight games. They were averaging 1 attempt a game.
I didn't realize this, Dave. This is surprising to me a little bit. 18:02 left. It's 47-38, so a 9-point lead. Their next 7 points were at the free throw line. And that's how they weathered that storm, is they got fouled, they got to the line, they made their free throws, and by the time they made their next field goal, which was 15-43, they went 3 minutes without a field goal and scored 7 points. I can't remember in a regular game flow situation, not an end of game.
Right.
When's the last time a Wes Miller team had a situation like that early in the second half? The opponent, a talented opponent, is trying to chip away at a lead, and you get 7 consecutive points at the free throw line. Day made 2, Baba made 2, then Baba made 1, then Jizzle made 2, and then they got the dunk by Cham, Celestine turnaround, Jizzle 2, Day 2, and next thing you know, it's 17 with 13 minutes left, and whatever hope BYU felt like they were going to have was squashed, but a lot of that was fueled by, in 3 minutes, I think there were 7 of 8 from the free throw line. That is not something that this team has shown.
No.
Really, I mean, I didn't realize that until I just looked up the play-by-play on it. Kudos.
I would
have mentioned that in the aftermath.
I have a little bit of breaking news.
Okay.
The Bearcats are on bracket matrix. We have one bracket with them in the field.
Has them in?
Yes.
You got to start somewhere.
You got to.
Got it. I think the percentages I saw, Dave, if they win one, if they beat TCU, it goes up to like a 40% chance they're in the tournament. If they win their first game in the Big 12 tournament, it goes up to 70% that they're in.
That feels a little high, but that's just a feel. I don't.
A feel, yeah. It just because I think we're conditioned. They were so far out that we still feel like they got a ton of work to do.
And because they were so far out, we weren't sitting here dissecting and all the other teams and their resumes and their bad losses and whatnot. How much of it do you think from the free throw standpoint? And I'm not going to go out and say like he's become the most important player because that would be a lie. Baba and Cham are playing at a all Big 12 level, so they are more important. But the way Celestine is shooting the ball, and I feel like I've noticed like teams are not doubling the post. And
they're sending it on Cham. He's doing a good job.
They're giving
avoiding it.
Baba, I feel like, is getting a lot of free space to back his guy down because the way they're shooting the ball from the perimeter, those guards are not dropping down when he kind of makes his move from the wing. Because, I mean, Celestine is just, I won't say automatic, but
it feels like it, man.
It certainly does. And
when he's open, I am confident it is going in.
So it's gotten to the point where there's a lot of one-on-one ability there, and then you're able to draw more fouls in that way because you're not constantly having to pass out of double teams and take long jumpers.
Well, the paint's not crowded.
Right.
So you're getting one-on-one, you're much more likely to get fouled. I think it's what you're getting at in the long way about it. You're much more likely to get fouled in a one-on-one situation than you are driving into a loaded box where there's not only your guy, but another guy standing there waiting for you. So your guy doesn't have to over defend, like doesn't have to feel like I'm on an island and I have to stop this guy when you know you've got help there because Cincinnati can't shoot a three to save their damn life. No, there's definitely something to it. That they have doubled Chom quite a bit, but he has been, I think he had one time last night where he actually let the double arrive. But for the most part, he has sensed the double and gotten rid of the ball.
His doubles, I think, are more so because he's destroying you if you don't.
Yeah.
So they're like, we kind of have to.
Yeah.
It's not like the double where you send a guy in because the guy stinks and he's probably going to turn the ball over or take a bad shot. We know he's going to crush us if we don't. But that's where Matt mentions Salstein shooting 42% in conference and Jizzle shooting 43%. Like, it's insane.
Jizzle, I was talking to Dan Hort after the game, and I kind of joked. I'm interested in what you think. Jizzle is doing his best Justin Jennifer kind of impersonation, right? Where he has found that sweet spot of get him into the offense, get over on the wing, and wait for that reversal or wait for that kick out. Be ready, be shot ready, catch it, let it fly. And they are going in at a very high clip. Like, he is not trying to do too much. He's not trying to.
No, he's not. He started out good, then he regressed a little bit back to Dribble James.
Yeah.
And certainly in this stretch, I don't think you can. I mean, I'm sure there's times, but like, they're not memorable times. He's really not doing that at all. He's facilitating the offense, and then, like you said, he's getting to spots where he knows that if the play goes the right way, that it's possible that he might get the ball back in an advantageous position.
And he's doing a really good job pump faking, over-aggressive closeouts. And then, like we talked about, I don't mind straight line, pull up, 15-footer.
You know what? Like, I don't know if you can look this up super quick, but the distance from, I know we made a big deal out of like the distance from the basket, 2-point shooting, that they were like, were they dead last in the country or
they were way down there
last in the country because they're
still bad.
Well, I'm sure it's impossible to clean it up as being dead last in 7 games or whatever.
Well, they're 331st, which last. Not technically last.
Yeah.
But last.
Like, who's the next closest Power 6 team? Can't be anybody worse than them, right? I mean, maybe some really, really bad team is worse than them, but nobody that's threatening to make the tournament, I should say.
There's 365 teams. So I don't know if I can sort this by
conference.
No, just by the stat itself.
Oh.
Okay, here we go.
From worst to best.
Yeah.
But that just came into my head. I know it makes for terrible radio, but it feels like that they are getting
Purdue. Michigan State.
Did you ever hear
Purdue's worse?
Did you hear Titus's joke about Purdue, by the way?
No.
That they're like the suburban team in AAU.
Yeah, I did hear that actually.
It's so perfect. It's
Vandy is worse. San Diego State is worse.
Yeah, Vandy's a bunch of nerds.
Purdue is worse. Michigan State is worse. Oh. Dave.
What?
Guess who's 359th?
I don't know who.
Oh, yes, you do.
That's
Yes,
like
you do.
in position to go to the tournament.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know who.
Come on. Think. Why would I be acting like this?
What, Tennessee? UCF.
Miami.
You had the first two letters right.
What? I don't know. Help me out.
UCLA.
Oh, UCLA.
359th in longest 2-point attempts. Because, of course. Like
because of course.
359th out of 365.
There. I mean,
holy shit!
Somebody's even worse.
Mississippi State is 362nd.
They're not making the tournament, though, are they?
No. Houston is second to last at 8.3 feet per 2-point attempt.
Oh my goodness. I never would have guessed that.
I mean, now that I say it,
I guess they just, because I would just still picture
they take a lot of pull-up twos.
And I still picture that, like, oh, we're getting the rebound and dunking it. So it like splits the difference but they don't really have that in their game this year. It's not that type of Houston team.
It's not. They are second to last in longest 2-point attempts. I knew UC was bad. There's like 10.
Oh, yeah.
There's like 10 that are worse than UC.
Trending up, baby. UCLA is a very confounding team.
Very, very,
very confounding team. But yeah, I mean, TCU, I don't know I've really watched them at all this year.
I think the best word I could use to describe them is rugged. They're not tall. They're thick. They're physical.
Is it thick with 3 C's?
Yeah, kind of.
Nice.
Kind of.
Nice.
They're I don't know how much they have one guy really that plays that's over 6'8". And that's Xavier Edmonds, who's 6'8", 245. David Punch is 6'7", 246. Those are their two starting interior guys. They rebound the hell out of it. And Micah Robinson, 6'6", 232. James Posey's kid, 6'5", 222. Tanner Toulson, 6'5", 194. So he's kind of the skinny one. And then they've got a Euro, Latorius Lelavicius is 6'7", 225. So they do not have a lot of height, but they are very physical and they are very aggressive on the glass. They are 63rd in offensive rebounding percentage and 83rd in defensive rebounding percentage.
In comparison, where is UC in those now?
Let's see. Offensive rebounding 177.
Not great, Bob.
Defensive rebounding 38.
Okay.
And Baba, I think, is 9th in the country individually as a defensive rebounder. He will have his work cut out for him. Xavier Edmonds is 27th in the country in offensive rebounding rate. Him and Punch are both the top 200 or so in defensive rebounding rate. They don't shoot it all that well.
Well, that was my question. Is it a Texas Tech situation where, yeah, they lost Toppin and they don't have the size, but they just spread you out and make it very hard for you to defend and chase down rebounds because it's hard to get a body on them?
Not really. I mean,
doesn't feel like that's the strategy.
They're 227th in 3-point percentage. 188th in 2-point percentage, and only 248 in free throw percentage. Now, they don't take a lot of threes. They're 252nd at 28.3% of their shots are threes. So they just want to get it at the rim and go get it. So if you can defensive rebound, what they can't have happen, Dave, is Texas Tech.
Right.
Where, that they're just swarming and back tapping. But the difference there being Tech can do that because they shoot a lot of threes. So the rebounds are coming long, and you can just say, live in this 12 to 18-foot area.
It's just way less predictable. The rebounds come off at weird angles. They, do you think this is a really emphasized defensive rebounding, but at the same time, because they are aggressive off, let's get out and run when we do get the defensive rebound?
For them, they do. Jamie's teams always play with good tempo. Offensively, they're 68th in tempo. So I think the big thing for me, and I don't know their number. They force a lot of turnovers, and that's been a Jamie Dixon thing. They block shots and force turnovers. So 41st in non-steal turnover percentage and 55th in steal percentage. If Cincinnati takes care of the ball like they've been taking care of the ball, you take away a pretty significant component of TCU's offense. TCU's only 98th in offense, Dave.
Yeah.
So if Cincinnati plays offense like they've been able to play offense, now they're very good defensively. They're 19th in the country in defensive efficiency, and they're physical as hell. They're going to blitz ball screens. They're going to high hedge. They're going to try to push you backwards. They're going to try to turn you over. It's going to be a similar Houston, Iowa State type identity defensively. So you're going to have to take care of the ball. If you're under 10 turnovers, I think you've got a really good chance to win the game. Keep them off the glass. Don't turn it over. You win. Or at least even on the glass. I don't even think you have to win the rebounding battle. You just have to neutralize what they want to do on the glass.
Yeah, second chance points.
That and, get some offensive. Don't be one and done. Because they're going to try to take it off the rim and go too at times. They don't play at breakneck speed, but if they get an opportunity on a missed shot, they're going to push.
What was it? I thought I didn't see it, but their game last night was in the 60s? Did it bleed into the 70s?
73-65.
Yeah, that seems like a really low number for a Tech game.
Very. Well, they shot terribly. Texas Tech did a great job running them off the line. So the other thing is, and I guess this kind of plays into Cincinnati's hands here a little bit. They don't send you to the free throw line a lot. Cincinnati's not a. It's
they don't go to the free.
Better.
It's not like they need to get there 30 times a game to win.
So. Right, that's the old Xavier teams forever and ever and ever under Mack and Miller, and if you took away their ability to get to the line, they couldn't win because they were counting on 22, 23, 25 points at the free throw line. That was their style of play.
Right.
So that's not really Cincinnati's style of play. Now it's helped that they've been able to get to the free throw line a little bit more. I think this is going.
Helped that they have in games that they haven't fucking needed it.
They're winning. Well, that's part of why though they're winning by.
But still, it's not. They're making 6 more free throws a game in games they're winning by 25. Great.
Right. I think it's gonna be a game decided probably in the final 5 minutes.
Hope so.
I just think they're pretty, like, both teams are really good defensively. Both teams are okay. Like, Cincinnati's playing a lot better. I'm not counting on them going in there and shooting.
Well, they're both
45% from
they're
three.
both, I think, in a groove with what they want to do.
Yeah. The question is going to be, does TCU still have their foot on the gas after the Tech win? Because we've seen that before. Like, they put themselves in. Like, they got their scalp that they needed to get into the tournament. Now, it's senior day. You're going to have to take that initial punch and hang around. But I don't foresee a world where, unless they just, guys that aren't prolific three-point shooters just lose their mind.
Yeah.
If TCU makes 12 threes, it's probably going to be a long day in Fort Worth. But I think it's going to be a really good game. I'm very intrigued to see how Cincinnati handles this, knowing, like, we're almost where we wanted to be. Like, we're right on the cusp of where we wanted to be. Can they get across the finish line? You gonna come to the Grail? So I can make you leave at halftime at the things. Oh, that's right. You're going out of town.
I will not see a second of the game. They tip at the exact same time.
The thing is, Dave, if they win, they'll be the 6 or 7 seed, one of the two, and that is 6:30 Central and 6 and 8:30 Central on Wednesday. So 7 or 9:30 Wednesday night if they win. If they lose, they could end up being the 9. You know that, right?
I do not. I'm not.
If Cincinnati wins, you go to UCF in West Virginia. So if Cincinnati wins and West Virginia wins, Cincinnati's the 6th seed. If Cincinnati wins and UCF wins, Cincinnati's the 7th seed. If Cincinnati loses and West Virginia wins, Cincinnati's the 9. Because then they would tie with West Virginia at 9-9, and West Virginia would have the tiebreaker.
Is that game at WVU?
It's here's the crazy thing. I'm pretty sure it's on Friday. It's at West Virginia. Friday. March 6th, Friday night. So we're going to have to be locked in on that one Friday night.
Well, you can watch BCU Dayton. Should be a nice game to watch before that.
Is Anthony Grant saving his job? What, they've won 5 or 6 in a row, right?
They got 20 or 21-9. He ain't getting fired.
There was a lot of talk, again, 3 weeks ago, that Dayton was moving on from Anthony Grant. Is it 6 in a row? Is that what they're up to? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
4,
I think
5,
so.
6, yeah. 6 in a row and 7 of 8.
7 of 8 after losing 4 in a row.
And that last loss is VCU.
And that's with a 15-point win over St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got smoked at VCU by 26.
Yeah. Go Flyers.
Always go Flyers.
Flyers.
I think VCU's probably in no matter what, so that's like not really a bubble thing. I think the A-10's getting them in St. Louis.
23-7, but they're 47 in Ken Palm. Who did they get in the non-con, though? They didn't get anybody, really. They got Virginia Tech, a bubble team.
South Florida.
South Florida. Lost to NC State, lost to Vandy, lost to Utah State.
Yeah, I mean, your losses are to 3 in New Mexico. I don't know what they are, but 3 likely tournament teams.
New Mexico's very much on the bubble.
Or 3 non-conference losses. They got
they have 4 non-conference losses.
Weird loss to George Mason. Lost to St. Louis twice.
Yeah, I mean, you lost to George Mason on the road. George Mason's not. They're certainly not Eastern Michigan bad. So.
Not many teams are. Not many teams are.
No. Boy, that'll be a real kick in the ass if that's what keeps them out.
Like we like to tell ourselves that like some of these wins have canceled that out. No, they haven't.
No,
you don't really cancel out losing to the worst team in the MAC.
Really, the only hope is the committee goes, well, they had 3 starters out, so we won't. We're still going to dock them, but we won't dock them as severely.
Right. Yeah. You lost to the worst team at home in the 14th best conference in the country.
Yeah. Well, great, Bob. Not great. I mean, VCU has technically no good wins. They also have 2 neutral wins that are 53 and 58 that could be a quad 1 by the time we get to the room. So
if they win at Dayton, that'll certainly be a quad 1 win, I would think, right?
Yeah. All right. You got anything else on basketball? I do have some football we want to get to.
I don't think so. I mean,
I think we hit a quite the potpourri in the hour and 10. Look, we've been doing a lot of football interviews opening segment here because there just wasn't we weren't going to be able to talk about the games without talking about the elephant in the room. It just wasn't humanly possible. We tried it a couple times, and it all automatically just steered back to, is the coach going to be here? Is the coach not going to be here? What's this? What's that? It was almost impossible.
Mm-hmm.
We were thinking about a guest this week. Figured this week would be a great, let's do an hour on basketball, kind of, not like a 3,000 foot view on basketball, not 10,000, but a little bit closer to the surface. And I think we hit on most of the stuff we needed to hit on. We got TCU talk a little bit. It's going to be a fun Saturday. And then we'll see if the excitement continues rolling into conference tournament week.
Yeah, I would like them to get good at basketball to give me a reason to one day go to this fantastic thing that they call the Big 12 tournament. But
right.
I'm not really into going on a Tuesday or Wednesday and then being stuck there or having to come back because they've lost. So we used to go to way back in the day, not the Big East in Madison, but when the Conference USA tournament would move around. I mean, I went to Memphis several times, Milwaukee, St. Louis. That was always a ton of fun to just be able to, when UC was awesome and you could go on the first day or whatever and just get 4 games, but you didn't care who won, just sit there and watch basketball. That was always a blast. I would like to do that again.
All right, let's timestamp. Brought to you by Turtles Brew, 6% ABV, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, gluten-free. It's a bourbon-infused sweet tea. They have lemonade tea, strawberry mint, cherry lime, raspberry peach, orange vanilla. There's more than 50 locations in Greater Cincinnati, over 100 around the state of Ohio. All you got to do, find the location nearest you, is go to turtlesbrew.com. And remember, a portion of the proceeds go to save the sea turtles. Eastern Michigan's Ken Palm numbers are propped up because they have a road win at Cincinnati. That's why their Ken Palm numbers don't look as bad as they probably should. Dave, let's get to football here. As guess what? Spring practice starts Monday. It's here. You want to know why we've been doing a bunch of football content across this show and over on the BBP? It's because spring ball's here. And the calendar is flipping to the 2026 football season, even as the basketball program is they're not. It's like the Undertaker gif, Dave, but they haven't sat up from the coffin yet, right? The door opened, but they haven't sat back up from the coffin. They were dead. The door was closed. The door has opened, but we find out on Saturday if the Undertaker sits up.
Yeah. Or if I just send out a gift that just says rest in peace.
Right. But spring ball is here on Monday, and Keegan will be there Monday. I've got radio for Mo on Monday, but we'll be there Wednesday and Friday to bring you all the action, as long as Cincinnati doesn't somehow end up playing mid-afternoon on Wednesday. But let's do like a couple things. I don't want to 3 keys, or I don't want to limit it to like you can only we can only talk about this many specific things, but just let's open it up, Dave, with a couple things that is going to be front of mind as spring practice opens and continues on for the next month and a half.
Feels too obvious to just say quarterback, but clearly that we'll be watching that.
We're going to be watching JC French a lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, that one's kind of self-explanatory. You don't really need to go too deep in that world. One that I think will be interesting is just right tackle. You know, I think we have a fairly good idea of what we think, which could be wrong. What we think.
I'm going into it open-minded because I don't. Latalupe maybe like I'm.
No, I mean for the other 4 spots.
Yes.
But yeah, just right tackle. What that seems to be. I mean, yes, some guys might be moving around a little bit, but we have a good idea of the participants.
Yes.
I think the secondary. Just where do all these pieces fit in with the new defense? The cat position, all these new safeties. Who did we think was maybe a corner that has seen time at safety and vice versa? Those are probably 3 that very much jump out to me. I would say next would be maybe wide receiver. Kind of 2 parts.
Missing an important one.
What's that?
Defensive line.
Well, I don't feel like you could gain a lot in the spring from defensive line.
Just who lines up where. And that's a part I don't have any grasp on how I think this is going to look.
Yeah. I mean, Nico had an interesting nugget. I don't know. I don't know if it was this week. I believe it was last week when he joined you guys. Like Marquez Parker has lost a significant amount of weight from where he was. I mean, I say more than 10 pounds for a defensive lineman is pretty significant. So like, where does he line up? Some of the returners that maybe we were hoping we got more from last year.
Yeah.
What do we see from them? And maybe the biggest thing is just, can anybody come close to, and we're not going to find this out in the spring. This is definitely much more of a later on question, but like the plan for post Dante.
Yeah.
On the defensive line. Now, granted, it's a different scheme. It's not a zero technique on the center. I mean, it's a 3 down look, but it's going to be different with gaps and stuff like that. And
you'd think it's got to be Ho, right?
Yeah, Huff. Yeah,
Huff. I mean, yeah,
I would think so, but that's just one dude.
Like, I know. I'm saying like the first guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I would hope. I would think so. I mean, who else is in that body type?
I mean, Rogers played a ton there last year, right?
He's gone.
Or not? Is he gone?
Yeah, Isaiah or Gunn.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I have to start over at defensive line.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I know anything about the defensive line.
New scheme, bunch of, but I think those are the main spots. I mean, we don't need to, I think it's silly to go position by position.
Not yet. Not yet. I mean.
No. And just defense in general. Are there a bunch of guys, working at multiple positions, especially in the back seven? Are there a bunch of guys working at multiple positions? Who's getting the main reps at the cat? Because we've kind of talked about, can they find someone that can do it, the same person all three downs, or do you need to have different guys based on offensive personnel and situation?
Yeah. And I'm looking at D-line now. I'm going to be hurting for a little while. Like I would guess Cam Rutherford would play like that strong or the run stopping end.
Yeah, I think he would fill kind of the Jalen Hunt type role.
Jalen White McClain opposite him, Ced McPhee, Marquez Parker. Huff is.
I mean, Parker's probably. I don't know. So.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of like who is where.
Because it's like it's a 3-man front, but it's kind of a 4-man front. So how do you? It's not. You can't just. I mean, until I see it, I can't just look at it as like your rush end is on the weak side and your more run stopping end is on the strong side. Like I have to see it.
Well, I thought it was interesting. I will say this. I thought it was interesting when he described the positions at that press conference we had a couple weeks back. Nose tackle, end.
Right.
He did not describe it as tackle, end, like a lot of other people describe the 3-man front. He described that outside, strong side guy as a tackle. The 3 tackle is a tackle.
Because you would probably have your dog on that side.
Yes. So, Thrifty Hippopotamus says, Dave, all last year you said 2026, it's 8 wins or bust. Is that still your position? With all due respect. I don't know why you'd give Dave all his due respect, but
I mean, I deserve all the respect. You will acknowledge me.
What about your undue respect?
I don't think that's the thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not moving off of that.
You have no confidence that they're going to get there, but you're not moving off of it.
If we're going to do the counting thing, then we can't start counting backwards in year 4.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I don't have to see how it goes to say that.
Oh, boy. Let's talk quarterback just for a little bit. Like, what do you want to see from French, knowing all new wide receivers, all new scheme?
That's the thing. Like, I don't even know. I'm not even sure what I like.
Is it a I'll know it when I see it? Like,
kind of, because like you said, it's a new scheme and all the targets are new to him, and 5 of the targets are new to the scheme. So it's not even just that, like, oh, we got all these wide receivers back and we're just implementing a new quarterback.
Right.
No, we have a new quarterback and 5 new wide receivers that don't know each other. So the quarterback and the wide receivers don't know each other, and all of them don't know the scheme yet.
Right.
And they're playing against the defense that's not game planning for them, and not rushing the quarterback, and not tackling the wide receivers,
and implementing a new scheme as well.
Yes, against the defense that has a bunch of new defensive backs implementing a new scheme. So, like, I already don't like when people like chart plays in, like you'll see NFL people be like, oh, Shedeur Sanders went 12 for 14 in practice today in July. I'm like, great, good for him. So yeah, if I'm able to attend any of the spring, it's not like I don't know what I'm looking for. Maybe I'm just looking at confidence in what you're doing, maybe not the end result. Was it completed or not? That's maybe not the important part. It's like, was this read decisive? I think they'll be way less horizontal than he's used to. How does that look? It's spring football. It's glorified, like, walkthrough / install. I'm always apprehensive around the spring of just making some proclamation of like, oh, this guy looked amazing. Like,
yeah. I mean, you hope that a couple guys are going to really flash where you're like, all right.
And like, this covered it too. Like the spring, almost the first week and a half is of literally no consequence to anything that we do.
Right. Well, the first week for sure, because they're literally just like you got to crawl before they're crawling, and then spring break, and then you come back from spring break, and everybody has to they just went on spring break. So
like there's usually a couple scrimmages, and I'll take.
There's usually one scrimmage, and then there's the spring game,
whatever they call it,
showcase, yeah.
And that gives you like a decent read. They typically treated that about as real as you would treat something in March for football. But yeah, it's tough. I know that doesn't generate clicks, and I know fans want way more decisive commentary, but I also like to try to be realistic.
Yeah.
And lay out all of, kind of why I don't take a ton from it from that standpoint.
Yeah. Well, next week we will have conference tournament Wednesday. Hopefully things don't go to a point where UC has to play Tuesday, because that would be worst case. Cincinnati loses, West Virginia beats UCF. You would have had a chance to jump up to 6, but instead you're all the way down to 10 or 9, and now you're the worst case scenario is even if you do get into the quarterfinals, you have to play Arizona. I think this Cincinnati team could play Arizona 100 times. Arizona wins, 97?
Where's the game?
Kansas City.
99.
99? Yeah, I mean, a minuscule number of times.
That's like if someone actually ran the numbers on it, it'd probably be more than they would probably win more than that. But they're really, really, really good.
They're big. They're above Big 12 starter quality 1 through 8, especially 1 through 7.
Yeah, would their top 8 players start for every team in the Big 12?
I mean,
without going through the
top 5 would
everybody's roster and who overlaps,
and then Awaka. Where doesn't he start? Could you imagine Houston if they had Awaka?
Could you imagine Tennessee if they still had Awaka?
And then Del Orso would start at most every team in the league. So 1 through 7, they have 7 starters. 7 upper half of the Big 12.
All right, here's our this. I mean, obviously we're going to do a pod, but the conference tournament will have started. What percentage are we putting on Arizona winning the conference tournament?
83%.
That seems high, but I also kind of think it's low.
Right. Right. Like if Vegas is doing it, it's probably what? 50. Like they only have to win 3 games.
Yeah.
They've only lost twice all year, and they were to, 2 of the best teams. One of them being Kansas at the Fog, which, playing in Kansas City is an advantage for Kansas, but it is not fucking Fog Allen Fieldhouse.
I mean, it wasn't an advantage last year in the conference tournament.
Right. 2 years ago, it wasn't either. So, I would mid-70s. I'd confidently say mid-70s.
You see aside, we'll talk plenty about the tournament, but like the basketball has been awesome this year.
It
from
has.
a national perspective, and I love the upsets and the funness of the first and second round. This year maybe above any other year, I want the best 4 teams in the Final Four. I want to see these guys play each other.
Michigan, Duke.
Like the Michigan-Duke game,
Florida.
I was watching at a wedding, so I didn't really watch it. Like, I want that game to happen again. I want Arizona to play Duke. I want Florida to play Michigan. Like, these teams have to play each other in the Final Four.
And I think UConn's right there. Right. I don't think UConn's far off. If UConn's in and one of those are out, like I'm not.
No, it won't change. It won't change the meter very much. But I mean, those teams are just playing so well, and
yeah,
it would be a shame in a year that has been really good. The on-court product has been as good as I can remember, and it's probably brought up because the freshman class has been as good as we've remembered in a long time. Like, I don't want to see upsets. I want the chalk.
I don't mind upsets early as long as it doesn't involve those teams.
Right. Like, yeah, if some 14 seed wants to beat a 3 or whatever, like, sure, whatever.
Right. Did you see, we didn't even get into my guy Tony Padilla last night and the 7 missed calls that he had.
I was not paying attention to the officiating.
Did you see Doug Sermons last night?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck was that? He came in from out of nowhere, inserted himself into something that didn't involve him. Within 1 second, double-teed Bill Self and kicked him out of the game.
I mean, none of that is surprising.
The best part about Bill Self getting kicked out of that game,
it was awesome,
was the smoke.
Awesome. Yeah. The Arizona State game staff
the tunnel.
Bill Self walked into the tunnel, hit the smoke machines.
Yeah.
That was great. But you want to talk about you guys want to know why I hate guys like Sermons and Kissinger and Padilla. That's why. There's nothing. Bill Self wasn't trying to fight anybody. Like, he was mad, probably for something that they got wrong. And Sermons just comes flying into the screen and immediately, bop, bop, you're out.
Like, I've never been a ref at anywhere near this level, but just the personality do you understand what you would have to say to me for me to throw you out of a game?
Right.
Like, this is major college athletics. Players now getting paid millions of dollars. The things you would have to say to me for me to turn around and go, okay, sir, that was over the line. You should not be in this arena anymore. And these dudes are just banging guys and for like, I'm not going to say for literally nothing, but like, what could he have possibly said to get 2 T's like that?
Immediately. You couldn't. How did you not? You tee him up. You want to make your point? You tee him up. You gave him 2. David, literally, he went bop, bop. Like,
what did he say? That. What did he say in between?
Right. Doug doesn't take any days off. I think he's worked. He's worked either at or over 100 days since the start of the season. And for you guys that don't know how this works, they generally will get done. They go to a hotel, they crash, they get up, they catch the first flight, and they fly to wherever they're going that next day, get off the plane, go to the gym or go to their hotel, check in, go to the gym, work the game, and just repeat every day. Could you imagine every day for, 97 out of 100 days, that is what you do every day? The level of fatigue by the time you get to November. And those guys make like $3,000 a game, Dave.
I'm surprised. How do these guys not miss more games? How do they not miss more flights and not make games?
Right? Like, how are there not flight delays? Or, I know some of them, they'll if they have Iowa State on Tuesday, they'll try to do Iowa on Wednesday.
Yeah, and then they drive or whatever.
Yeah, but, they're flying 4 or 5 days a week. They're on a plane.
Yeah, I've never understood the rabbit ears, the quick trigger on, like, even if you're 100% right,
you had to show him up that bad.
Throw him out of the game.
Throw him out of the game. A game that could cost Kansas the seed line. They lost by double digits at Arizona State.
Certainly know the feeling.
Been there, done that. Coach didn't even get tossed. Might have felt better about it if he did.
I can guarantee you I would have felt better about it if he did. I'm also the type of person and have the personality that, like, I would, at least once a year, I would be trying to get thrown out. Just to see how far I can push it.
Sorry, Baylor Dan just tried to shot fake and take it into the trees on Houston.
That went well, I assume.
He shot an 8-footer at about 6 feet, which was the opposite of the Buck Harris pull-up 15-footer yesterday that went 19.
I missed that one.
You literally would have lost your goddamn mind.
What's up? What's up, Ron?
What's up, Ron? He got it. They threw it up the floor in transition. Shot fake to 3 with really nobody around him. Shot fake to 3. Took 2 dribbles to 15 feet. Rose up with more confidence than you've ever seen in your life, and he missed the rim 3 feet over.
Kind of like some of his layups. I appreciate the aggression and the authority. I would also appreciate if he made one every now and again.
He's made a couple of those pull-up 15-footers of late, but that one, like, he was feeling himself, right? Like he was in his bag. Shot fake, jabbed it, 2-step pull-up dribble, shot it like the Nick Young, like one of these.
Turned around.
He didn't do that, but that's the kind of confidence that he shot it with, and it went 3 feet over the rim.
Hey,
I think Dan Hort. Somebody said Dan Hort's call was actually Buck Harris pulls up from 15, shoots at 18.
Just a bit outside.
Tried to corner and missed. Ball 4, ball 8, ball 12. Vaughn has walked the bases loaded. Somebody asked your impending Bengals free agency thoughts real quick before we get out of here.
Do more than TJ Slayton and Oren Burks.
Fair.
Which is a pretty low bar to eclipse. I don't know. There's players that I would like them to pick up, but honestly, just spend the money, be aggressive. You don't need superstars. You need, I don't know what the number is exactly, 3, 4, 5 starter level players. Just competent starter level players for the defense. And you go from there. And I think that's very doable. I think they have the money to do that. I think 3 of the positions that they need help on the defense have a good amount of players in free agency. It's defensive tackle is not one of them, but there are enough good edges, enough good linebackers, enough good safeties that should not cannot say that, emphasize that enough, should not be a problem. It certainly feels the way that they've talked that we are going back to 2021, where like it would not surprise me if 10 minutes into free agency they've signed somebody.
Yeah.
Like when they did with Ted Karras and Alex Kappa.
Yeah.
Because the vibe is just you cannot come anywhere close to what you did last year, which just makes me laugh all the more at Duke Tobin saying we're always all in. Well, what, last year you were all in? You couldn't manage free agency because you couldn't do Jamar and T's contracts at the same time. Like that was too overwhelming for you to then also do free agency.
I don't think he's ever played cards. I don't think he's ever been.
Do you know, sir? Do you know what all in means?
like, have you ever sat at a no limit hold'em table and gone all in to understand if I'm not right, I'm all out.
I'm all out.
Like, I don't think you understand what all in means.
And this is, this is why I don't really like, when fans talk about the Zach Taylor of it all, I don't really have much angst for Zach Taylor. My angst is very heavily on the pseudo general manager and ownership / front office. Yes,
me too.
They don't structure contracts like other teams do. They certainly don't push all the levers and push all the buttons and pull all the levers that other teams do. I mean, so, I wish they would have tagged and tried to trade Trey Hendrickson, but I don't think they're capable of managing a complex situation like that and understanding all of the nuances of that, and potentially, if you can't get a deal done, rescinding the trade so they're not sitting on $30 million waiting for him to possibly sign it or not. Like, so then I'm not upset that they're just letting him walk, because I don't think they could have handled everything that they would have had to do to pull off a tag and trade prior to free agency starting.
Right.
But, at the same time, and that's also why I don't really crush Zach that much, is you went more than half the season last year without Joe Burrow and Trey Hendrickson. What did you think was going to happen?
Right.
But no, I always like free agency. I think it's fun. I always like the Twitter accounts that try to give you clues as if they have inside info, and people get mad about it if they're not right. I think it's funny. I think Alec Pierce is going to get paid. I think the Colts are very, very dumb for transition tagging Daniel Jones and letting Alec Pierce test the market. Because guess what Alec Pierce isn't going to be doing? Signing with the Colts.
I wouldn't rule it out, but if he did,
no chance.
Should say this: if he did sign with the Colts, they're not getting the hometown discount.
Well, I'm just saying, if they were presenting him an offer that he would sign, he would have signed it by now.
Yeah.
No, I'm not even talking about like Dove Kleiman. I'm talking about like Bengals fans who tweet funny things like GIFs or pictures and try to like give you little clues. Yeah. Well, we need a wide receiver 3. Alec Pierce is going to be wide receiver 1 for somebody. So it ain't going to be him.
Yeah, they ain't paying. He's going to get what? I mean, he's the number 1 guy on the market.
He is the only wide receiver, like true good wide receiver in the market that will command.
Think he's going to get 30?
No, 20, mid-20s.
I think at least 25.
Mid-20s probably.
I think at least 25, just because he's the cost of poker went up. Speaking of all in, like the antes and the blinds went up.
If you don't get him, who's your next closest guy?
Yeah.
I mean, Matt says Titans. I want him to go. I would love the Titans to go after him because, like, you've got Cam Ward. He needs that type of receiver. I think it's a great fit. But, I mean, Patriots seem super interested in getting the one. Yeah, he's going to get – he's probably going to get overpaid.
That's what I'm saying.
Because of the scarcity of the position in free agency.
Ron, I've been joking about this one for a while, but I think UCLA played their way out of the first 4 last night.
Yeah, they jumped 10 spots in KenPom just for beating Nebraska at home.
Yeah. But they beat them pretty good. Like, that's how if you beat them above what the KenPom projection is, you can make a pretty big jump.
Yeah.
You can also not beat somebody good, but not beat them by what they thought you were going to beat them by and drop, even though you thought you had a big win. But I think UCLA is probably in, like, comfortably in now.
Yeah,
but I have been joking about UCLA in Dayton. Like, that's just something that the committee would do.
Yeah. Brian Cook's going to get a nice contract. Kobe, of all the UC guys, I would like the Bengals to try to get Kobe. I think he fits what they could potentially want to do in a 3 safety look. It would not keep them from potentially drafting Caleb Downs.
I think Kobe would do the same. Like, I think Kobe could give them a lot too.
That's what I mean. That's who I would want them to sign.
Kobe instead of Cook.
Yeah, Cook is very similar to Jordan Battle. I think he's better, but you're probably not signing him because their comments coming out of Indy where they're very much in on Jordan Battle. That, to me, that would be redundant.
Yeah.
I think he's better than Battle, but I don't think you're gonna
have 2 of them.
So, like, Kobe has the slot capability, the safety capability. Like, that's a safety. And there's other safeties I would actually like even more than him. But if we're just talking like drawing the Bengals and Bearcats connections, he's the one that I would like them if they sign him. I'd be very happy about.
David, I appreciate you and your commitment and your dedication to this program. It's a lot of people, Dave. A lot of people talking tough. If Wes is back, I'm out. I've been a Bearcat fan for 40 years. If Wes Miller comes back, I'm out.
Where to steal a line from a very famous Cincinnati.
Where are you gonna go?
Where are you gonna go?
But David, I appreciate your dedication and your commitment. Did you donate to Keegan's postseason fund? Because, we're like an athletic department here. We need donations.
Yeah. Yes, Ron. Kobe is a free agent.
Thoughts on baseball this weekend, Daniel? I just don't have any. I'm just being.
We're not there. We're not there yet.
I don't have. I've only got so much bandwidth between basketball, spring football about to start, and being an Uber driver for my daughter from now until July.
I thought she had her license.
No, July.
Oh.
She's got her temps, but I have to be there. I need to get back to, because of the winter and the weather and everything, I did most of the driving this winter. I need to go back to being a passenger princess. I need to go back to riding shotgun. Thursday night, Daniel. I don't know if you guys all know this, but Thursday night, right here on BearcatJournal.com, our very own Jeff Gentle and Tim Adams, with either myself or Aaron Smith hosting. We are now producing the Diamond Bearcat Baseball Podcast. Thursday night at 8:30. So anything you want to know about baseball, you can find there. What else we got? Anything?
I don't know.
Couple of rainouts. They're saying Friday is supposed to be clean. I wonder if they try to get 2 in on Friday. And then Sunday is supposed to be pretty nice. So I could see them getting doubleheader Friday, doubleheader Sunday. Yes, the Reds did destroy the entire country of Cuba today. So that was good. 19-2 over the World Baseball Classic team from Cuba. But it sounds like it's a little rough in your neck of the woods, Dave.
Why? What's going
on? Some thunder.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought it sounded like flyovers.
There's rumble in it that the Simone household.
I'm not hearing any of it.
How's UC baseball doing? They've started off pretty good, Ron. They beat the number 8 team in the country, Auburn, in a one-game series, and then they've won they split one series, won the other 2. So they got 4 games against San Diego here in Cincinnati this weekend. So tune in Thursday night. We'll get you caught up to speed, Ron. 8:30 Thursday night. Tim and Jeff and either Aaron or myself will have you fully knowledgeable about Bishop Ball going into this weekend. I don't have anything else, man. Do you?
I don't.
All right. Let's try to get some rest. I'm recovering still. That is the BCJ podcast. Remember, Holy Grail Saturday, 2:00. And if you want to donate to the Send Keegan Across the Country Fund, you can Venmo or PayPal at Bearcat Journal. We'll see you next time. That's the BCJ podcast, brought to you by the Holy Grail, right here on BearcatJournal.com.